Hello guys, you're welcome to my channel. So today we'll be covering linear equation, and these are the things you are going to learn in this lesson. You will know the general formula for linear equation. You will know the meaning of linear equation. You will know also how to solve linear equation with one variable. You also know how to solve linear equation with two variables. So I'll also give you the difference between linear and non-linear equation. So let's start. So but first, what is a linear equation? A linear equation is a mathematical statement that states when two things are equal. For example, when you have uh, a square, assuming this is we have something like this, and we attach a rope at the end. So we want to like balance this thing. It's not balanced. Assuming it's like this, and we attach one mass here, we attach another something with weights. So we want to make this thing to be at the horizontal surface, which means we are going to use this side to balance this thing here. What we are going to use here must be the same thing, must be the same weight with. So if here, assuming here is 10, here we can just say y plus 2, which means here, which means y plus 2 is equal to 10. This has formed a linear equation. So a linear equation is that type of equation that the power of unknown is always 1. What do I mean? For example, if you have y plus 10 is equal to 4, which means the power of this y here must be 1. You cannot have something like y raised to the power of 2 in linear equation. So any equation that you see the power of unknown, and what do I mean by the unknown? The unknown in equation is the letter, is the alphabet that is together with the number. So it's called the unknown because it is what we don't know in that equation. So the power of that letter or of that alphabet must be 1 in linear equation. So that is the basic thing you need to keep at the back of your mind. In linear equation, the power of unknown must be 1. You cannot have something like y raised to the power of 2 plus 3 plus 3x like that. This will give you a typical example of either polynomials or quadratic equation. So in linear equation, the power of unknown is what is 1. So let's know the difference between, let's see when to identify uh equation that is linear and is not linear. So example of linear and non-linear equation. 1, 3x plus or 3x minus 7 is equal to 11. This is linear. Why? The power of x here is what? Is 1. You cannot see that 1. So any equation that the power is not written is just that alphabet, which means the equation is what? Is linear. So let's have a second equation. We'll have y raised to the power of 2 plus 3y plus 6 is equal to 0. This is non-linear equation. And 3, when you have a square root of x is equal to 3x plus 4, this is a non-linear equation. Why? The power of x in this equation is what? X raised to the power of 1 over 2. 1 over 2 means what? Square root. You can know that in indices. So this is not linear as well. So when you have let's assume you have 3x plus 4y is equal to 6. This is a typical example of linear equation. Why? Here the power of x is 1, here the power of y is 1. So the equation is what? Linear. So in essence, let me give you one more. Let's assume you have cube root of y plus 3 is equal to 2. This is also non-linear because the power of y in this equation is what? Is more than 1. So in any equation that the power of unknown is greater than 1, that equation is says not to be linear. So we can solve linear equation involving just one variable, and we can solve linear equation involving two variable. And what is the example of two variable linear equation? That is simultaneous equation, where y and x are involved in that equation. But in linear with one variable, it's just if it is y, you can just see y, and if it is x, you only see x. If it is p, you see p, only p. But in linear equation involving two variables, you can be seeing two alphabets involving in that equation. That says to be two variables, and variables are what? Are unknown. Unknown are what? Letters in that equation. So let's continue. Let's solving linear equation. So in solving linear equation, as I explained, we can have either one variable, which is we call the unknown. We can have two variables. Okay, so the example of two variable equation is simultaneous equation. So let's start with linear equation involving just one variable. So linear equation involving just one variable. Example: one variable linear equation. So for example, we are going to solve, but this one linear variable linear equation will solve the one with just one variable, and will solve the one with two variable at different side, that is the left hand side and right hand side, and we solve the one involving brackets, and we solve the one involving fraction. So let's first start with linear equation with one variable at one side. So example, when you have this 3x minus 7 is equal to 11, this is an example of one variable, because if you see this equation here, it is only x that you are seeing. In shows that this equation is a one variable linear equation. So in solving this, you do what is called collection of what? Like terms. That is, you take the one without alphabet one side, and you separate the one without with alphabet one side. So here minus 7 and 11 are not having alphabets attached to them. Those alphabets attached to them, we call them what? The variables. So we are going to separate them from one side, and then we separate the one without alphabet one side. So from here, or you can decide to say add 7 from both sides, because when you take this minus 7 to the other side of the equation, this minus 7 will change to plus, because this sign reverses to what? To a plus sign. So Let's click on collect like terms. So in collection of like terms here, what we are going to do is we say 3x is equal to 11 plus 7. How is it 11? It is because in equation, whenever a number is crossing an inequality sign, this equality sign here, the sign reverses. If the sign is plus, the sign reverses to what? To negative. Or if the sign is negative, reverses to positive, and positive means what? Plus. Negative means what? Minus. So I can be using them interchangeably. So here we now have you now have 3x is equal to 7 plus 11. That will give us 18. But the point of interest is to know what x is standing for. That when you put it back in this equation, you are going to have 11. So by that, you are going to say divide. You are going to say divide both sides by 3. The reason of trying to divide both sides by 3 is to set x alone, to make it the subject, to know what x is standing for. With that, we say 3x divided by 3. That will give us 18 divided by 3. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times x is cx. So 18 divided by 3 will give us 6. So now, x in this equation is standing by what? Is equal to 6. Let's check. When you have 3 bracket open, now you know that x is what? 6. Where you see x, put 6. So minus 7. This will give us 3 times 3 times 6 is 18. 18 minus 7, that gives us what? 11. So it's correct. So when you know the value of x, as I was saying, it is going to balance the equation. That is, what is at the left hand side must be the same as what is at the right hand side. So now let's solve another example that involves variable from at two side, that is at the right hand side and the left hand side, but with just one variable. So example 2. So here you can say solve 3x, I just say 7x plus 2 is equal to 10 plus is equal to 10 plus 10 plus 3 10 plus 3x. So now if you look at this equation, you will see that we're having variable from each two sides of the equation. We have 7x from the left hand side and we have 3x from the left hand side. So this is one variable linear equation involving at the two sides of the equation. So in solving this, you will follow the same procedure. You separate, as I explained in this, you separate the one with alphabet, which is the one with variables, the one side, and the one without variable, called in the constants, one side. So we're doing that. We now have that 7x. So we are going to move 3x to come to the other side of the equation. That is going to cross this inequality sign. While crossing the inequality sign, the sign here was positive, it will change to negative. The sign was plus, it will change to minus. So that is minus 3x is equal to, and here the right hand side of the equation, we are having 10, and we are moving these two to go to the other side. That will give us 2 minus 2 as well. So 7 minus 3, that give us 4x, and 10 minus 2, that will give us 8. You are looking for x, we are going to divide both sides by 4. So divide both sides by 4. So 4x divide 4x. So 4x divided by 4 is equal to 8 divided by 4. 4 will take care of 4. X is equal to 8 divided by 4 will give us 2. So now the value of x in this equation is 2. So let's quickly move to example 3, solving linear equation with brackets. So the third example is solving a linear equation involving brackets. So in solving linear equation involving brackets, we can have, let's say for example, we can have 2 bracket open 5x plus 5x plus 3 bracket close is equal to here we can have 3x plus 1. So before we can solve this kind of linear equation, we are going to use this tool to open the bracket first. So 2 times 5 that give us 10x, 2 times 3 that give us 6 is equal to 3x plus 1. So with this we can still collect like terms as well, collect like terms. So here we are going to take 3 to the other side, so we now have 10x. So this 3 here is having a plus sign, while coming to the left hand side the sign changes to -3 and that will become -3x is equal to, so from that other side we are having a 1. So we now take uh, 1, so we take 6 to the other side, that will give us -6. So 10x minus 3x that give us 7x, and this is the same thing as 1 minus 6 that give us minus what, 5. We divide both sides by 7, so 7 into 7 one time, x is equal to -5 all over 7. That's our answer. So that is when solving so let's quickly go into solving linear equation involving fraction. So in solving linear equation involving fractions, I say example 4. Example 4, you can either have 3x all over 7 or plus 2 all over 2x all over 4. Or let's say here we can say 3x all over 2 and here 3x all over 4 is equal to 4x plus 2. Here you're going to look for the LCM. You looking for the LCM. The LCM here is 4. LCM means the lowest common multiple of this. So in looking for the LCM, you are going to multiply 4 from each 10, which means that is multiply 4 from each 10. So we are going to multiply 4 as the LCM from each side of the equation. So with that, what we have is 4 times 3x all over 2 plus 4 times 2x all over 4 is equal to 4 bracket open 4x plus 2. Here 2 into 4 that is 2. 2 times 3x that gives us 6x plus 4 into 4 is 1. 1 times 2x that gives us 2x is equal to 4 times x that is 16x. 4 times 2 that gives us 8. So here we can still collect like terms. We can either decide to move everything here to the right hand side, then we'll move 8 to the other side, or we can decide to move 16 to this side. So let's move 16 to this side. So here, but here we plus it first. 6 plus 2x that gives us 8x, and this is equal to 16x plus 8. So let's continue here. So now let's collect like things. Collect like things. So we now have that 8x minus 16x is equal to 8. So here 8x minus 16x give us minus. When a small number minusing big one, it always give you a minus sign. That is, you're having 8 positive, you're having 8 positive and you're having 16 negative, which means when 4 react with when 8 react with 8, you still have minus 18. So minus 8, so that is minus 8x is equal to 8. You divide both sides by 8. So you divide both sides by minus 8, not just x. So minus x will cancel x. So x is equal to minus 8 cancel 8. X is equal to 8 divided by minus 1, that by minus 8, that gives us minus 1. So that's just it. So guys, if you enjoyed the lesson, please turn on the notification bell and subscribe to my channel so you can follow more of this